Today's book review is for all the creatives, for the knowledge workers, for the artists, for the writers, for the thinkers, the doers, and the decision makers. If you've ever struggled to find your muse, to find your inspiration, or to get past writer's block, then stick around, because this book is going to change the way you think. I'm Elliot with Productivity Test Kitchen. Let's get into it. Today we're talking about The Practice by Seth Godin. Now I mentioned this book and I mentioned Seth Godin in a previous video. Find it here. It's got a longer title than I can remember. And what Seth wants to teach in this book is that creativity is a skill that needs to be honed and trained, and that's best done with a daily or at least regular routine. Seth also believes and teaches that a muse doesn't exist, that writer's block doesn't exist, or at least not so concretely. Both of those are concepts held in your mind from your fear of uncertainty, and that you must push through uncertainty and get through that swamp and emerge on the other side with ideas. And in the life we're accustomed to, we say that we find a muse, we have a breakthrough good idea, and it happens once in a blue moon, and that's what we're paid to do, and that's what we're known for, and then we go into our reclusive little selves until we find another muse and we have another good idea. But that meantime, where we're not getting much done, where we're not producing good ideas, where we're not doing our best work, maybe we're holding ourselves back, we feel like imposters, we feel like we don't belong. Seth says that's all part of the process, or at least it should be accepted, acknowledged, and addressed head on. Seth also did me a huge favor, and about halfway through the book, he broke down the practice in 7 simple sentences. The first point is that this is a practice. And if you think of the word practice, what else comes to mind? Musicians, athletes, doctors have a practice. And what that means is that they have a regimen that they attend every single day.
They join their team on the field, they run drills, they work on their scales, they study, they visit a mentor, they see patients.
They do these things regularly, if not daily, but regularly, in order to build up themselves, to build up their work, to build up their minds, to build up their relationships with others. The second point is that it has a purpose. This purpose of the practice is for something for yourself. You are trying to strengthen something. You have a goal in mind. The third point, there is a desire to create a change. Typically that change is within some other person. Partially it may be within yourself, but ultimately it does involve an audience. And that's the fourth point. The change is for someone very specific.
Demographic. That you say, my work is for you.
And another word that Seth uses a lot is generous. The work is generous because it is for somebody. The change you're trying to make is an improvement in their lives. Maybe you're selling shoes and you want someone to have better posture, a better stride, more comfort. That's generous. You want something better for somebody else. Maybe you're creating artwork and you want to sell it to somebody who will hang it on their wall and look at it and appreciate it and feel happy that they purchased it. That's generous. You want to make somebody happy and you want to make a change. You want somebody to change their physical aesthetic to make them happier. That's the change, that's the generosity, that's the purpose of your practice. The fifth point is now introspective. How can I make this practice better? What did I do today that maybe I could do better tomorrow? What did I do recently that could be improved? What could be more efficient? What can I stop doing that's taking away my time? What can I stop doing that's making me less efficient? And the sixth point, can I persist long enough to do this again? Going back to the athlete example, if you were stressing your body beyond its means, you could tear a ligament, you could get seriously injured. And if you're injured, you're out. Or in the business sense, maybe I'm losing money and heading towards bankruptcy, and if I do that, I'm out of the game. You need to be able to persist in your practice. It needs to be beneficial for you as well, so that you can create a change in your audience for the purpose regularly. And then the final point of the 7 is you repeat. That's simply it. You do your practice, you repeat it, and you get better. So that's the core of Seth's message. Let's talk a bit about the book itself. It's a very enjoyable read, and one reason for that is that it's broken down into these teeny tiny sections. Look at that, number 54, is that right? 53, let's start with 53. It's about a page long. And the whole book is filled with sections like that. So it makes it very easy to set a goal. I'm going to read 1 section in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to read 10 sections today. It's very easy to set a goal, and it's very rewarding to get through it. No thanks. The book is also further divided into, you might call them chapters, that divide up the segments of the attitude that Seth guides you to build. And that's what's at the heart of the practice, is that Seth is helping you build an attitude with which you bring to your work, you bring to your personal life, you bring to your family. He's laying the foundation and he's asking you to design it. As I was reading the book, I was frustrated at first thinking,
he's not giving me any of the designs. He's not telling me what to do. He's just telling me
I need to book a practice. I need to have practice. I get it, but what's my practice?
and it's only about halfway through that it started to dawn on me. It started to unravel that he's telling you how to build it. He's letting you build it to fit your career or to fit your craft or to fit your family, to fit your lifestyle. And by the end of the book, I was changed. It had an immediate impact on how I approached videography and filmmaking in general, and it had an impact on how I approached my household, my family, and my daughter. And to put it simply about Seth Godin, he's just a really good writer and a really good speaker. And I could give evidence that he's written like 17,000 books. Exaggeration on my behalf. That's not evidence of him being a good writer. Him being a good writer is evidence that he's written 17 million books. And that's what he's trying to say. Ernest Hemingway sat down at his typewriter every single morning and he just churned out page after page. Most of them went in the trash. Did he have writer's block? Probably, but he just pushed through it every single day, and that's what he's asking you to do. Push through your problems. Trust yourself. You've done great work before. You can do great work again. Find your muse in yourself, in your work. Seth Godin, The Practice. Highly recommend you check it out. Thanks again for joining into the Productivity Test Kitchen. If you found this review helpful or inspiring, subscribe for more content like this. Hit the bell for notifications so you can be alerted when those videos come out. I'm Elliot. This is the Productivity Test Kitchen. Thanks for joining us.